Now, greatest syntax like this: value 1, value 2, value 3, and so on. Okay, value 3 and so on. This is the syntax only. Now, for example, now I can write the query like this: select greatest of, I can write some values here: 100, 120, 80, 240, 360, 180, 140. For these values, which value is having the greatest value as per the given list? As per the given values, which value is the highest value, greatest 360. Value? 360. 361, correct? Now, if I am able to execute this query, what is the expected output it can print? 360 will be displayed. One. This is tracking on the system. I can reconnect. What is the greatest value in the given list? 360 only. Clear? What the use of this greatest? If we are going to give some values in the within the inside list, which value is having the highest value, that is called by greatest only. Now next, for example, then I can go for the table level. For example, the columns like this only. Now employee number, just I can take it as a commission. Okay, commission from EMP. I'm going to compare the two column values. I'm going to compare these two columns. For this first row, which value is they having the greatest? Comparing these two values. Which value is having the greatest? Employee number column, first row, what is the value? 7839. In the commission column, what is the value? Null only. If we are going to compare these two values, which is having the greatest value? 7839. 7839. Correct or not? Now I am going to apply the greatest function on these two columns for the table level. In the earlier, we have given your own values by using dual table. Now I am going to pass the two columns for this greatest function. What are the column names? Employee number, comma, commission. Now run the query, just you can check the data. Which value is having the greatest? Comparing these two. Why? Because, can anyone guess it for this? Why this value is not having any output?
When we compare or add with null, answer is null.
Yes. Correct or not? Yes. For this. Then what we are going to do? When what we are going to do? Then we can write as a NVL function only. Correct or not? Just 1 minute. For the same query, I am going to write it. Commission. Then we can execute this query. It can display some. Just one. For the same query. NVL up, just mute, please.
నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటవా రేపు ఆ మెయిల్ లో ఉండే ఆ మెయిల్ నువ్వు ఉండక అవసరం లే నేను చేస్తా పో అన్నా
Now here just I am going to run this query. Now you can check it. Which value is having the after this? Why? Because can I apply the NVL function? If you are going to compare any values, null only it can display. That's the reason I can apply the NVL function for this column. Is it clear for this, all of you? For comparing these two, which value is the highest one, greatest one? This one only. This is the way we need to find out. This is the way we need to find out. Okay. This is called as a greatest function in the SQL. Now, next one, what is the least function only? Least function, what is this? Which value is having the least value in the given list? What the use of list function? Whatever the values you have given in the list, in that which value is having the least value. Now same, just I'm going to write this same syntaxes, same queries. Now here just I'm going to write as a list function only. Now run this. And now you can tell me the answer for this. Which for the given list, which is having the list value? For the given list, which is having the list value?
80.
80 only, correct? Now just I'm going to execute the query. The output it should be displayed as 80 or not. Is it correct? Now come to this. Now which just I'm going to apply the list here only. First, is the query it can work properly? This one? It won't work properly. Why? Because all are displaying the null only. This is not correct. That's the reason what I'm going to do. Next, what I'm going to write? NVL function here. NVL function. Now run the query, you can see the output. For these two values, this is the having 0. It is coming as 0. Just if you have any doubt, just I can write the one more function here. NVL of commission comma 0. Just you can write it, then only you can able to understand. Now here, first these two, first this one, no need to compare. Why? Because it won't give any output in the above scenario. Now after this 78390, which is for these two values, which is having the least value 0 only. That's the reason it can print the 0. This is the way we need to find out by using the list function. Clear? Up to these two, if you are going to compare the values, multiple values, we need to compare which value is having the highest. Then we can go for the greatest function. If we are going to compare multiple values with the least value, then we'll go for the smallest value. Then we'll go for the least function only. These are all called as a greatest and least function in the general function. Then we'll go for the another one. What it is? Coalesce function. Next, I am going to move it as a coalesce function. Coalesce function is nothing but it can find out the first not null value in the given list. What the use of coalesce function? The coalesce function always it can display the first not null value in the given list. Are we clear for this? What is the purpose of this? Coalesce. In the given list, what is the first not null? That is the find out of coalesce function only. Just here, value n only. This is the syntax. Now I can apply the, I can write one example here. Select coalesce of. Now can anyone tell me the answer for this? NV null plus 100, null minus 100. Okay. Null into 40. Like that, I can write here. I'm going to write the 0, 100, 200. This is my list. Now you can tell me what the use of coalesce function? What the purpose of coalesce? It can display the first not null value in the given list. In the given list, what is the first not null? What is the first not null value? Not null means it's having some value.
0.
After execution of this query, what is the expected output?
100 or 0.
Now you can tell me which value it can be displayed. Is it 0 or 100? What is the first not null in the given list? Null, is it having a value?
0. No.
Null plus 100. If you are able to add any value with null, always null only. Next one. Null minus 100. If you are able to subtract any value with null, always null only. If you are able to multiply any value with null, always null only. Now, what is the first not null after
0.
these values?
0.
0 only. 0 is having some value. Correct or not? Now run the query. It can display the first not null value only. Clear up to this, all of you? What the use of coalesce function? The coalesce function always it can display the first not null value in the given list. These are all the values, not columns. Now in the table level, if we are going to compare any columns in the coalesce function, always it can display the first not null value only. Now I'm going to move it as a coalesce function with the table. For example, just I can take the columns like this. Select commission MGR. Okay. These two columns I am going to take it here from EMP. Now, if I am able to execute this query, now compare these two columns data. First, check these two values, which is having the Coalesce function. What value it can be displayed? Coalesce function, what it is displayed for these two? Null only. There is no value here. Correct or not? Now compare to these two. What is the first not null? Comparing these two values, what is the first not null? If you have any doubt, just we can write the query like this. Coalesce. What it is? What are the column names? Commission, comma, MGR column. Now run the query.
So,
What is the first not null value for these two? This is the first not null. Then it can display like this only. For this one also, this one. This is the way we need to write it. Clear up to this? What the use of Coalesce function? The Coalesce function always it can able to find out the first not null value only. If it is first not null value, if you are going to compare multiple columns, for example, I am going to write them different columns. Now, can anyone tell me the answer? Select employee number, salary, department number, commission. How many columns I have taken here? 4 columns only, correct? Now, out of these 4, first you can run this. Then only can tell me the answer. First, I can run this query like this. Then I can apply the Coalesce function for all the 4 columns. What is the expected output it is printing out of 4 columns? Can anyone guess it and tell me the answer?
Employee number.
Only first column data, it can be
Employee
displayed
number.
for the entire output, correct or not? Why? Because all are having values, first column. Now, if I'm able to run this query, it can display the output like this only. Clear? This is called as a Coalesce function only. Next one, last one, I'm going to move it as a nullif function. What the use of nullif function? Nullif function always, it can accept the 2 arguments or 2 parameters only. How many parameters it can accept? 2 arguments or 2 parameters. One is the expression 1 and one more it is the expression 2. What the use of this expression 1 and expression 2? If the expression 1 and expression 2 column are values, expression 1 and expression 2 values are having same, the output it should be null. Clear up to this, all of you? If expression 1 and expression 2 values are same, the output it should be null. Now, if expression 1 and expression 2 values are not same, the output should be printing as a expression 1 only. Now, you can tell me the answer. Simple example, I am going to tell you. 150, 200. Both are having equal or different? For this scenario, I am going to pass the 2 values for this nullif function. Both are having same or different?
Different, sir.
If it's different, what value it should print?
Expression 1.
Expression 1. What is the expression value we have given in the example? 150. Clear? Now I am going to write the value like this. 200 and 240. What is the expected output? For example, what is the expected output? 200. Now here I am going to give it as a 300 here, 300 here. Now you can tell me what is the expected output? If the both the values are having same, what is the null?
Null.
You can display the output. Null.
Null.
Null, not 0. 0 is having some value. Okay. This is the use of this. Now how we can apply the nullif function in the select query? Now I can write the query like this. Select nullif. Just I can apply above values only. 150, 200. What value it can be displayed after applying this function? What is the expected output? 151.
150.
Is it correct or not?
Yes.
Next. Next, just to copy this query again. Next one, I am going to pass it as a 200, 240. Now, what is the expected output for here for this scenario? 200 only. Next one, I am going to move it as a here 300 and 300. Now, if it is, what is the printing? If both the values are having same, what it is printing? Null only. Is it correct or not?
Yes.
This is the way we need to write. Now, for the same function, I am going to apply the table level also. Just I can write the query like this. Just you can check this. Select employee number. Okay. Just I can take the employee name. Employee name. Here, I am going to write as a expression 1. I am going to write the like this. Length of email. What the meaning of this length of ename? It can find out the how many characters are present in this column. Correct or not? That is the length function. Now this is called as I have mentioned as a alias name expression 1 only. Just observe here. This is expression 1. Next, what I am going to take it here? Just I can write it here only. Next, what I am going to do? I am going to take the one more column. What it is? Job column only. Just I am going to take it as a job column. Now I can take this also length of job only. Length of job. Just I can give the alias name as a expression 2. Okay. First, without writing the null function, what the data it can be displayed. Now run the query. Now you can tell me. What the length of ename? Expression 1, what it is having? What the length of ename? First row, king. How
4.
many characters are there? 4.
4
Now,
letters.
this
4 letters.
president, what it is? What is the length of
9.
president? 9 digits, 9 characters only. Now, if you are going to apply the null function for these two values, which one, both the values is having same or different?
Different.
If it is different, what is the length it can be displayed as per the output?
4.
4 only. Correct or not? Now come to this. Now comparing to these two values. Which value?
5.
Second, next. This
5.
value it should be printing. Now come to this. 7th row. What it is? What is the expected output? 7th row.
5.
Both the values having same.
Same,
But
same.
the null
Null.
function it can be
Null.
displayed. The
Null.
output it should be null only. Correct? Now come to this. Any value now, this value it should be
5.
printed as it is only. Is there any other value? Now come to this.
12th now.
Null.
12th row always
Null.
it should be printing as a null only. Is there any other value? Is it matching?
No.
12th and 13th is matching. Correct?
Yeah.
12th and 13th is matching. The null function always it should be printing as a null only. Now I can apply the null function. Just observe here. Take this query again and write it as another way. Here I can write it as a null function for those two. How we can write it as a null if? Now you can tell me. Null function. What is the first column? Take this one. Correct? Take this one up to this. Comma. What is the next one? Length of job. Now you can take this. Now after run this query, just you can write a result or something. You can write the alias. Now run the query. Where it is having error. Now run the query. Now you want to get the output or not? Clear? If both the column length values it should be matched, the null function always it should be printing as a null only. If both the column values are not matching, the first column length value it should be displayed. This is the use of null function only. Any doubts for this? All of you clear for this null function? Any doubts? Can we move to next one?
Yes, sir.
Next functions are over. Next I am going to move it as a roll up and cube. There are two special functions are there. Then I can explain. Where is the codes function? Where is that codes? Where? Codes function, where it is? Where? Next, can we copy it or not? Oh, here it is. Already it's step, no problem. Now, before going to the roll up and queue functions, now can anyone tell me how I can able to find out the department number wise total salaries? How I can write the query? Can anyone tell me? Now, for example, now you can tell me how I can able to find out the total salary in the entire organization. How I can able to find out the query? How I can able to write the query?
Select.
I'm able to find out the total employee salary one. How I can write the query? Select.
Count star.
I'm not asking the Total employees. Total employees salary I am going to ask.
Sum.
Sum only.
Sum.
Correct? Sum of what I am going to
Salary.
write? Salary.
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 Now I can write the query like this. Now it can display the total employee salary in the organization. Correct or not? How much salary they want to pay for the total employees for the by end of the month? 29,025. In the employee table, how many employees are there as of now? 14 employees are there. The 14 employees, how much they want to pay? 29,025. Now in the entire organization is having some departments. Correct or not? If you want to go to any organization, take any organization. In that organization, some departments are there: Java, SAP, DevOps, Oracle. Like that, it is there. For the same way, in the employee table also, how many departments are there as of now, as per our table? How many departments are there as of now for this table? How many departments are there? Three departments are there. Correct. Now, what is my current requirement? I'm able to find out the department number wise total employee salaries. How I can write the query? In this query, it can able to find out the all the employee salaries only. Now, what is my current requirement? I'm able to find out the department number wise total salary. How we can write the query?
Where?
Department
Group
number.
by.
Now
Group by.
we can go for the group by, correct or not? What the purpose of group by class? Group by class, it is to grouping the
Similar
rows
data.
based on the similar data. Correct or not? Group by column always it is to group the rows based on similar data only.
Similar
Correct or not? Then it can form the groups only. After forming the groups, what we are going to do? We are going to apply the aggregate functions on that particular column. Correct or not? First, it can forming the groups by using group by class. After that, immediately what we are going to do? We are going to apply the aggregate functions only. Now, how we can write the query? Select department number, sum of salary. Just what we are going to do? We need to find out the department number by total salaries. Correct or not? Now, after running this query, is it work? Why it can throw the error? Why this query it can throw the error?
Sum of salaries
Function.
is a group function.
Group by.
Already I told you, if you are able to see this message, not a single group function in your query group by class, it is missing. Just remember this point. If this error message, if you are able to see in your system, what we need to miss this? What we need to miss here? Group by class.
Group.
We can write the group by, just we can write it as a group by. What is our column name? Department number.
Department name.
Now run the query.
So group by name, spring.
Yeah, 1 minute. Now I can run the query. If you run the query, it can display the department number by total salaries or not?
Yes.
Now, is this data is proper order?
Order by. No.
Now, how I can make the data as a proper order? Which class it can be
Order.
helpful?
Order by.
Just I can write as
Order by.
order by. Order by. What is the column name? Which column we need to see the data in proper order?
Department number.
Now run the query. You can able to see the data is a proper order. Now, how much amount they want to pay by end of the month for department number 10? 8750. Now department number 20, how much they want to pay? 10,875. Now this 30th department. Now for this query, if I'm able to add these three values, how much it can come? It can
Sum of salary.
sum of total salary only. Correct or not? What the total salary here? Total salary, how much it is coming? 59,025. Now, if I'm able to add the department number wise total salary, how much it is coming here after adding all these three? How much it is coming?
Sum of salary.
Total same only, correct? This value and this value, department number wise total salary and the employee's total salary, always it should be same only. Correct. Now, in this query, it can display the total salary, total department number, sum of salaries. Only it can display the subtotals only. How much they want to pay by department number 10? Now you can say the answer like this, 8750. How much they want to pay department number 20? 10,800. Now, what is my current requirement? I am able to see the grand total of department. All of you clear the requirement or not? Now, what is the salary here? But this is the salary like this only. Now, after adding these three, what value it is printing? 29,023. What it is? This is called as a grand total or not? Now you can tell me. What is this? This is called as a grand total. Now what is my, but this is called as a 10th department number 10 subtotal. Department number 10 subtotal. What it is? This is called as a department number 20 subtotal. Okay, subtotal. Next one, what it is? Department number 30 subtotal. Is it clear or not for all these? Department number subtotal. Now all of it clear for this? Okay. This is called as the first one. It is called as a department number subtotal. Okay. Total after adding all these, what value it is coming? 29. This is called as a grand total. Now, if I'm able to run this query, is this query it can display the grand total and subtotals? Only it can display the department number 10 salary, 20 salary, and 30. Is this query it can display any grand total?
No.
After applying the group by class. Now, what
No.
is the user requirement? What the end user requirement? The end user wants able to see the grand total also. How we can write the query? All of you clear the requirement. For this query, always it can display the department number by salaries only. But what the end user wants require? The end user wants able to see the grand total of this. How we can write the query? Then we'll go for the roll up and cube only. Then we'll go for the roll up and cube. Just same only. It's also similar as a group by, just we need to add the one function here, roll up. What is that syntax? Just I can write the syntax. 1 minute, I can copy the syntax only. Just a minute. 1 minute, I can write it in separate window. Roll up and cube, both are having the similar, only one major difference it is there, then I can tell you. Okay. Now here, I'm going to explain. First, I can copy the syntax. Now you can see the syntax. The syntax, it should be similar as a group by or not. Normal, how we can write the query? Department number by salaries. Then I can write the query like this. Select department number, sum of salary from EMP, group by DPT number. Now I can write the query. This query it can display the only department number by salaries only. Now is this query it can display the subtotal? No. Now what we are going to do? Then we'll go for the roll up and cube only. Then you can see that. 1 minute. Now here, what is my current requirement? I'm able to see the grand total of this. How we can write the query? Just observe here. Select same query. First, you need to copy the same query. Now, here, what is the syntax here? Group by. Up to this, we have written the column. What is this group by? This function still I cannot write it here. Now, if I'm able to run this query, it can display the department number by total salaries. What it is here? What the function is there? Roll up or cube. First, I can write the roll up only. Roll up only. Just to close the brackets here. In the inside a bracket, what we are going to write? Column list only. What the first column? Just I can write the single column in the select list. That's the reason I can write as this one. Now I'm going to run this query. After running this query, it can display the grand total or not. Just I can write as order by also. If you're able to write the order by, then you can able to see the. Now you can see the total or not. Grand total it is coming or not. Now what it is this? Is this is a grand total or not? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Now in the earlier, if I'm able to run this query, if this query is displayed any grand total?
No.
Now after
No.
applying the roll up function and group by class, after applying the roll up function and group by class, it can display the grand total or not? Is it clear? All of it clear for this? How we can able to find out the grand total? This is the way we need to find out the grand total. Now I am going to move it as a cube. Cube, I can open it as another window. Same cube also. Just you can see this. Cube, I can write it here. Okay. Now here, same query. Just what I instead of roll up, what I am going to write? Cube only. If you are able to instead of roll up, what I am going to write? Cube only. Now if I am able to execute this query, what the output it can display? The cube also it can display the grand total. Is it clear? All of you clear for this? Now roll up and cube always it can display the grand totals or not? Now, if the both the functions are having displayed as a grand total, but what is the difference? Why do we need to use the two functions? Already roll up is there. Why do we want to go for the cube? And if you clear the requirement, already the roll up function, it can display the grand total only. The cube also, it can display the grand total. But why do we need to go for the two functions? Only one function is enough, correct or not? That's the reason. If you're able to compare the single column in the roll up and group, there is no difference. If you're able to compare, if you're able to find out the single column grand total, then there is no difference. Now, for both the function, it should be same only. When it can find out the difference, if you're able to find out the multiple columns data, multiple columns subtotals and grand totals, then you can see the difference only. Clear up to this, all of you? Now, for the single column, if you are able to find out the grand total and subtotal, then there is no difference. When you are able to see the difference, if you are going to find out the multiple columns, subtotals and grand totals, then only you are able to find out the difference. First, I can write the query like this. One up to this clear? Now, this is the only it can display the grand total only. Now, I am going to write the one more query. Just observe here. Select department number. Job, already we have discussed for these things in the previous classes only. Group by sum of salary. What does it mean for this? I am able to find out the department number wise, job wise salaries. Correct or not? In the department number, Java it is there. In Java, multiple clerks are there. Yes, it's possible. For example, not only clerks, in the Java level, senior software engineer is there, software engineers is there, lead engineer is there. Correct or not? Delivery manager is there. Like that it is there. Project manager is there. Now in that only one software engineer is there in the Java department. Is it possible? Multiple also it's possible. Sometimes only one person also it is there. That's the reason. What it is my requirement in the Java department? How many jobs are there? That is how much salary we want to pay the department number wise and job wise. How we can write the query? Now how we can write the query? Group by DEPT number, comma, job only. Now we can write the query. This is the way we need to write the query. Department number wise, job wise, total salaries. Now we can check the data. Just I can write as a order by also. Order by department number. I can write it here. Now run the query. In the what is the department number? It is coming 10th department. How many clerks are there? Only one clerk. It can display it as a salary 39. How much they want to pay in the department number 10 clerk? Only one clerk is there, 39. Now come to this department number 10, only one manager is there. How much they want to pay? 2450. Now come to this 10th department, only one president is there. How much they want to pay? 5. Now come to this 20th department. How many analysts are there? 2 analysts. If you have any doubt, you can write the query like this. Select star from EMP where job equal to analyst. If you have any doubt, just you can write the query like this. Select job column from EMP where job equal to analyst. Now you can check this. How much salaries it is coming. Just I can write the salary also. How many analysts are there? 2 analysts are there. What is the salary? 3000 and 3000. What is the department number? You can write the department number also for understanding purpose. Now in the department, which department number it is coming? 20th department. How many analysts are working? 2 analysts. What is the salary? How much they want to pay by end of the month for these 2 analysts? 6,000 only. Now go to run this query. Now how much it is coming? 20th department, 2 analysts. How much they want to pay? 6,000 only. Correct or not? Clear up to this? Now, just you can see the data. Just you can see the data for this query. Okay. Now I am going to run this query. Here I am going to write as a, from where I can add this. 1 minute. Here I am going to write as a group by department job and run the query. Now it can display this query. Now I am going to write it as a, for the same query, I am going to apply the roll-up function. Now here, after group by, just I can write as a roll-up. Just to go to here. How many columns we need to pass the roll-up function here? After roll-up, how many columns I have written here? How many columns I have given to this roll-up function? 2 columns only. Now in the previous, how many columns I have given in the roll-up function here?
1.
If you are able to give the single column for the roll up and cube, there is no difference. Correct or not? Both it can display the grand total of that particular query. Now, what is my current requirement? How many columns I want to pass it as a roll-up function here currently as per the
Two.
requirement? 2 columns only. Now run the query. Now run the query. Just see the data. What it can be displayed here? After this department number 10. One is the president. Now these are the salaries. After this, what it is coming? This one department number by subtotal only. Now, what is the purpose of roll up and cube? Roll up and cube always it can display the subtotals and grand totals only. Then we can go for the roll up and cube functions only. Now, what is the major difference? How we can able to identify? First, you need to see this. This is the department number 10 subtotal here. This is the department number 20 subtotal here. This is the department number 30 subtotal here. Now, this is finally what it is coming? Grand total only. Finally, what it is coming? Grand total only. Now, what is the meaning of this roll up function? Roll up always it can display the subtotals and grand totals of first column only. What is the first column I have given here in this roll up function as per our query? What is the first column here? Now, what is the first column in the roll up function? Department number only. Just if you are able to, not only this, for example, if I just see, you can see this. I can reverse the column names here. Now, I can reverse the column names here. Just I can give it as a job first. Now here I am going to give it as a department number here. Now you can see the difference. What it is the difference it is coming? First, what values it can be displayed? Is there department number 10? Is this displayed? Can I have any subtotal? Department number is having any subtotals? Only it can display the department number. Salaries only. Is this query it can display the subtotals? No. Now, what is the first column in this query? Roll up function, what is the first column? Job only. Job wise subtotals it can be displayed or not up to this. This is called as a job wise subtotals. Now, what it is? Grand total only. What is the first column in the roll up function? In that first column, subtotals and grand totals will be displayed by roll up function only. It won't display the second column subtotals. If this query it can display the second column subtotal, department number subtotals it can be displayed. For this highlighted data, what is the 10th department salary subtotal? 8,400. What is the 20th department subtotal? 10,000 something it is there. What is the 30th department subtotal? 9,400. Is there any subtotals here? After writing this function, now go to above query. Just you can run this query. If this query it can display any job wise subtotals? Only department number subtotals and grand totals only. What is the first column? This roll up function. What is the first column for this roll up function? Department number. First column subtotal and grand totals and grand totals only it can be displayed by the roll up function. Now come to this query. What is the first column? Job only. Job wise subtotals and grand totals only it can be displayed by this query roll up function. This is called as a roll up only. Now for the same queries I am going to apply the cube function. Just copy this cube only. Now just I can take all the columns up to this. Just observe what is the difference between these two. This is the cube. Now come to here. Just I can write it as instead of roll up, what I am going to do? Cube only. Just what I am going to do. This is the one directly you can write it here. It can display the department number wise, job wise, totals only it can display. Now instead of this roll up, what I am going to write here, just observe here. Observe carefully here. Now we can see. Here, after applying the, how many columns we have applied here for the cube function? How many columns I have passed the cube function here? 2 columns only. What are the column names? Department number and job. If you are able to apply the multiple columns to the cube function, it can display the both the column subtotals and grand total only. In the previous roll up function, you can apply on the multiple columns. Roll up always it can able to display the first column subtotal and grand total only. Come to the cube. Come to the cube. It can display the both the columns subtotals and grand totals only. Now you can see this here. This is the 10th department only. What is the subtotal here? What is the subtotal? 8750. Now come to this 20th department. What is the subtotal here? 10,875. In the 30th department, what is the subtotal? 9,400. Now here also it can downside. Job wise subtotals are there or not up to this? This is the job wise sub. How many analysts are there in the employee table? 2 analysts are there. How many clerks are there? 2 clerks are there. How many managers are there? How many managers are there? 3 managers are there. Like that, it can add it here. President, only 1 president. Salesman, like that, 4 or 5 something it is there. Salesman. Now these are all called as a job wise subtotal only. This is job wise subtotal. And this is the department number wise subtotal. Now finally it can display the grand total also. Finally it can display the grand total also. All of you clear for the what is the difference between roll up and cube? If you are able to apply the roll up and cube on single column, then there is no difference. Both it can display the grand total only. If you are able to apply the multiple columns on roll up and cube, the roll up always it can display the first column subtotal and grand total only. It won't display the second column subtotal. That is the drawback of roll up. Now, if I'm able, after applying the any function roll up and cube, I am able to see the multiple column subtotals and grand totals. Then we can go for the cube function only. Now, if you are able to apply the cube function on these 2 columns, it can display the department number subtotal, job subtotal. Finally, it can display the grand total also. Now, come to this query. Just in the previous, if I'm able to write this one, just you can see the difference. Then only you can able to understand. Now, what is the difference? It is there. No, it cannot display the department number subtotal here. Only department number by salaries it can be displayed, but it won't display the subtotals here. Second column. Why? Because second column it is there. Roll up always it can display the first column subtotal. These are all called as subtotals of job. Next, what is? This is called as a grand total. Now come to this cube. Cube, we are going to apply the cube on these 2 columns. First, what is the first column? Job. What is the next column? Department number. Both it can display the subtotal and grand total for this cube. Just observe here. In the department number 10, what is the subtotal? No, what is, sorry. Here I am going to write it as a cube function. Here also, same it is there. Now you can see this. Now compare to these 2 outputs. Same. What is the function? It should be different here. Roll up, job and department number, it is there. Is there any subtotal here? Now you can check it. Department number by subtotal is there in this data. Now come to this. Now you can see this. If the subtotal it is there or not? 10th department, 8750. In the 20th department, subtotal it is there. That is the major difference between the roll up and cube only. If you are able to apply the single column on both the functions, we cannot able to find out any difference. Both it can display the grand totals only. When you are able to see the difference, if you are able to apply the multiple columns on roll up and cube, then you can able to see the difference. Now, if you are able to apply the multiple columns on roll up always it can display the first column subtotal and grand total only. The second and third columns, it won't display the subtotals. Now come to this cube. Cube always, if we are able to apply the cube on multiple columns, the cube always it can display the both the column subtotals and grand totals only. For example, in the cube, I want to apply the 4 columns here. Now you can tell me. Now if I am able to apply the cube on 4 columns, what the expected output? Can anyone tell me?
It will show the subtotal and grand total of all the 4 columns.
So 4 columns subtotal only, and only grand total is 1 only, correct or not? Subtotals it is different. Now that is called a Q function. Now come to roll up. If we are able to apply the roll up on 4 columns, job, department number, salary, and commission. Now which column it can be? What is the expected output for that case? First column,
First column.
First column subtotal and grand total, but the remaining columns it won't display subtotals. That is the drawback of roll up. Is it clear? All of you clear for this, sir? Any doubts? Roll up on a cube. Now, what is my requirement? After run this query, you are a developer, then you can know this. Okay, this is called as a department subtotal. This is called as a 20th department subtotal. This is called as a 30th department subtotal. Then you are a developer, you have written the query, then you can know this output. But the other people, then they can able to understand this. The other people, they can able to understand what is the subtotal, what is the grand total, they can know. Is it able to identify? Is it possible? That it's not possible. How we can write the query? Just some meaningful outputs we need to print it in the selector result. Now, how we can able to find out the, just you can see this. Now, first one function I am going to explain, grouping ID. Then you can able to understand. Just one function it is coming, grouping ID. What the use of that grouping ID? Then I can tell you. grouping ID. Now, how many columns we need to compare as of now for this data? Now we can see this. Now, how many column data we need to compare here? 2 columns or 3 columns? How many columns are there?
Two.
2
2 columns only, correct?
Job and date.
Now, first row, for example, first row. Now, how many columns are there? First row, 2 columns only. Now, what the 2 columns is having a value or not? Both the columns is having a value or not for this first row? Employee number is having a department number is having a value, job is having a value. Both the columns is having a value. The grouping ID always it can display it as a 0 only. Just remember this point. What the purpose of grouping ID? Both the columns is having a value. For example, what are the columns? Department number and the job only. Job only. Just observe here. For example, department number 10 is there. Just like that example only I can write here. Here I can write as manager only. Both the columns is having a value or not? Now here, now you can tell me. First row I'm going to take it here, or clerk only. Now anything. Now what the both the columns is having a value or not as of now? Now what the grouping ID it can be displayed? 0 only. If what is the purpose of grouping ID? Both the columns is having a value. What the grouping ID it can be displayed? 0 only. Now come to this. This is also it can be displayed 0 or not? This is also. Is it displayed the 0 or not? Now I can write it here also. Just I can write it here. Then manager. First value what is? Sorry. First value what it is coming? Clerk only. Just I can copy this value. What the grouping ID it can be displayed? 0 only. Both the columns is having a value. The grouping ID always it can display the 0 only. Okay. Is it clear? Next what value it is there?
0 again.
Now what the value? Next. I cannot take all the values. For understanding purpose, I am going to take this. I don't want to take all the values. Just I can write this. Now here also value is there or not? Both. Now what the grouping ID it is printing?
0.
Again 0 only. Now next one. What the next value it is there here? One column is having a value. One column is not having a value. Now what the grouping ID it is printing? All of you clear for this? First, what is there? One column is having a value. What is the next one? Null it is there, empty. Now, what the grouping ID it is printing? 1
Null.
only. 1. Just you can see this. What the first column is having a value? Second column is not having a value. What the grouping ID it can be displayed? 1 only. Is it clear? Next. Now here, for here, some values are there or not? Again, what the grouping ID it can be displayed? For these 3. 6, 5, 6, 7.
0.
What the output it is printing? Grouping
0.
ID.
0.
0.
0 only. Okay, just I can write it here. 0 only it is printing. Now here, just I can write as a 0 only. Next one, what is there? Again, same are there or not? 20 null. Correct or not? What is the next value? 20 null. What the output it is printing? 20 null
1.
it is there.
1.
1 only. Correct? This is the grouping ID only. Now here, 1 only it is printing. Next, what it is there? Next one, 30th department it is there.
0.
Correct? 30th, what it is printing for these two? If we are going to compare these two columns, again, what the grouping ID it is printing? 0 only. Now here I am going to print as a 0 only for this grouping ID. Okay. Next one, what it is there? Now you can see this. What it is? 30 null only. What is the grouping ID? 30 and null. What is the grouping ID it is printing? Again?
1.
1 only. Okay. And next, what the value is there? Now, first column is having a null value. Just you can see this up to this. I can copy all the things. First column is having null. Second column is having a value. What the grouping ID is printing? 2 only. Okay. These 4 conditions it is there in the grouping ID. The other conditions it won't come. Now here, what the grouping ID it is printing here? 2 only. Okay. Now here, 2 only it is printing. Next, what is the last value here? Both the columns is having a null. Both the columns is having a null. What is the grouping ID it is printing?
3.
3 only. This is the final one only. Is it clear up to this, all of you? What the use of grouping ID function? Now you can tell me from this data, which is having the department subtotal. Now you can tell me which column is having the department subtotal, which column is having the job subtotal, which column is having the grand total. Now where we need to write the department subtotals and grand totals. Can anyone tell me?
One is having job subtotal, department subtotal.
Now
2
where
is
is the,
having
no, row number 4 is having the department number subtotal, correct or not? This is the department number subtotal or not? This.
yes.
Now from where we need to print the output to department subtotal for understanding purpose? This one, correct or not? This one, what we are going to print? Department subtotal. Okay. Next one, what it is again, this one also department subtotal or not? For understanding purpose, I am going to tell you here how we can able to identify whether it is a department subtotal or grand total, a job subtotal. Now next one, what it is? This is also called as a department subtotal. Next one, what is this? This is all called as a, what it is? What are all these? Job
subtotal.
Job subtotal only. Just I cannot write it for all the things. Now final one, what it is? This one. This one is called as a grand total only. Correct or not? Both the columns is having a null value here. Last one, just you can see this last one. What is this? This one I want to print it as a grand total only. Clear up to this? Now how we can write it? All of you clear the requirement. Now as per this output, if now this query is enough up to now. As a developer, you can write the query like this. Finally, you can get this output only. It can print the job-wise subtotal and grand total. Department number and job-wise subtotals and grand totals, it can display this query. But you are a developer, this query is enough. But the other point of view, the other users, they are not able to identify what is this. This is what type of this output. They cannot able to identify. That's the reason we are able to print some meaningful information to the output only. Now, what it is, wherever this value is coming. Okay, one column is having a value, one column is not having a value. What I'm going to print, this is called a department subtotal. Then the other users, they can able to understand, okay, this value it should be department subtotal only. Now come to this one. One column is having not a value, one column is having a value. This is called as a job subtotal. Then the user can able to understand the other user. Final one, what it is, both the columns is having a null value. This is called as a grand total. How we can able to write the query? Just I'm going to write the query like this only. What I'm going to write here for same query. Anything we need to take it here. Both the queries I'm going to write it here. Now what I'm going to do here, just a comma. How many columns are there? How many columns we need to compare? As of now, how many columns we need to compare? Grouping ID, comma. That column names you want to give it here. What are the column names? Department number, comma, job. That's it. Now run the query, then only can you able to understand. The values are coming like that or not? Just what we have discussed. Same it is coming or not? This is a roll up. Roll up always, is there any job subtotals? Roll up in the roll up function, in the job way subtotals it is there. Roll up function, is there any job way subtotals as per the output?
No.
No, why? Always the roll up function, first column subtotals and grand totals. It won't display second column subtotals only, correct? That's the reason it won't there in the second, correct or not? Is there any second value? Grouping ID, is there any second? It won't there. Why? Because there is no subtotal, job wise subtotals, it cannot be displayed. Now first, if the value is having, both the columns is having a value, then what it should be printing just now, what is the analysis of our thing? Is it correct or not? Now go to this query again, wherever the 0 it is coming, wherever the 0 it is coming, I don't want to do that. From where we need to print the output? From where we need to print the output? Here we need to print what the value? Department subtotal. Here what we need to print? department subtotal. Here what we need to print? Department subtotal. Finally, what we are going to print here? What we are
Grand
going to print? Grand total only. Clear up to this, all of you? Just I can write that. Now then, now you can tell me if grouping ID equal to 1, what value we are going to print? Now you can tell me. If grouping ID equal to 1, what
Department
value we are
and
going to print? Just see this.
Department subtotal.
Department subtotal only. If grouping ID equal to 2, what we are going to write?
Job subtotal.
Joint.
Job subtotal. Currently in the roll of function, is there anything? It is there? Roll
No.
of function. No. Only it is printing what it is next one, what it is there.
Job
Job,
department subtotal.
grand total only.
Grand
Now
total,
what we are
grand
going to write, just you can copy this syntax only. Already we know the case function. Already we know that case function. Just I can write the case function for this requirement. Just you can see it here. This is enough only. Just as per the end user understanding, then we can write the query like this only. Now, case grouping ID here only, this function, I don't want disturb here. Just first you can copy the query for understanding purpose. Now, here I am going to write the case function only. Case on multiple columns. Case function with multiple columns here. Case grouping ID. Okay. How many columns are there? Grouping ID, 2 columns. Next, what we are going to write here? When, just you can write that one condition I am going to write, copy it here. When 1. What is the meaning of this? Both the columns is having 1. What we are going to print when 1 then? What we are going to print here? Department subtotal. Just you can run this query. Later I can write it here. Just end only. First you can able to understand. End. Now run the query. Where it is the missing keyword? Where it is?
Sir, end tarvata single.
Oh, single quote it is coming. Again, somewhere it is missing.
Department
Subtotal.
Now run the query. You can see this or not. Then the other users can able to understand easily or not.
Yes.
Now, all of you clear or not? For this query, it can display the department number subtotal or not. Now you can tell me. Now I am going to write the 2 also. Is there any job subtotal here as per this roll up? Only first column it can display the subtotal and grant. Now we can write it, no problem. In future it is coming, then it can be satisfied. Then what I am going to print it here? Job subtotal only. Okay, job subtotal. Next one, what it is, I am going to write it here when 3.
Grand total.
What I am going to print? Grand total only. Now run the query. The end user can able to understand. And now here I am going to write as a total or something. I am going to write it here. Department job. For example, like that I am sub and grand. Just like that I can write it here. But this is the alias name. Now run the query. Now I can able to understand or not. This is called as a department subtotal on this row. Now this is called as another department subtotal. This is also another department. Now this is called as a grand one. The other users can able to understand or not. Now you can tell me.
Yes.
Now this is the way we need to write it. Clear up to this? Now for the same way I am going to write it as cube function. Cube, it can apply the multiple columns, the multiple column subtotals and grand totals it can be displayed. Now if you are able to apply the roll up on multiple column, first column it can display the subtotal and grand total only. It won't display the second column subtotal. Now go to this same queries. Just to copy the same query. It's writing the cube function only. Just what is the difference? Then only can able to understand. Now run the query. Now here what I am going to do? Just I am going to write the cube function only. Okay. Now run it. Now you can able to see this. Now here it is as a 2 it is coming or not. Just observe here. Now in the previous roll up function, is this values it is there up to this. Is this output is there in the roll up. Now clear what is the difference between roll up and cube? Roll up always it can display the first column subtotal and grand total and it will display the second column subtotal. Now we are applying the 2 columns on that roll up function. Now come to this cube function on 2 columns, it can display the both the column subtotal and grand total only. In future 4 columns are there. 4 columns subtotal and grand totals only. In the 4 columns we need to apply in the roll up first column subtotal and grand total only. It can be displayed. It won't display the other column subtotals. Okay. Now for the same query, I'm going to write as a here. You can see this. Now I'm going to write as a cube only. Now run the query. Now it can display the job subtotals also. Is there or not job subtotal? This is the way we need to print. This is the meaningful output we need to print by using grouping ID only. This is not required. If you're not able to print, no problem. Up to this, the query is enough. Up to this query is enough. Now, for understanding purpose, I have explained this concept. Nothing to do here. Other way also it is there. Other way also it is there. That is also one more way it is there. Okay, that is the different scenarios. This is the easiest way only. Clear up to this, all of you? Any doubts for this? Roll up and cube as of now. Simple. If you know the group by, then you can write the roll up and cube.
Recording
very easily.
stopped.
If you don't know the group by class, this is difficulty only. That's the reason I can write all the things in the queries. Doubts ఉన్నాయా ఇంకేమన్నా ఇవి? రోల్ అప్ అండ్ క్యూబ్ ఎందుకు రాయాలి చెప్పండి? మీరే చెప్పండి ఎందుకు రాయాలి రోల్ అప్ అండ్ క్యూబ్? వాట్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ రోల్ అప్ అండ్ క్యూబ్?
Subtotals.
సబ్ టోటల్ అండ్ గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ గుర్తు పెట్టుకున్నది. మనకి మేజర్ గా ఎందుకు రాస్తాం? ఒకవేళ మీకు ఏంటి ఇప్పుడు అవసరమా కదా మీకు? ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏదైనా ఒక ఐటమ్స్ పర్చేజ్ చేశారు, 10 ఐటమ్స్ పర్చేజ్ చేశారు, ఈచ్ కాస్ట్ వస్తుంది. ఒకవేళ ఏంటి 10 ఐటమ్స్ లో మీరు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ శారీస్ కానీ బ్లౌజెస్ కానీ డ్రెస్సెస్ కానీ ఇంకా ఏంటి జీన్స్ కానీ ఏమన్నా కొన్నారు, డిఫరెంట్ ఐటమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు అప్పుడు క్వాంటిటీని బట్టి మీకు రేట్ వస్తుంది కదా. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది మీకు? జీన్స్ కాస్ట్ ఎంత, బ్లౌజ్ కాస్ట్ ఎంత, శారీ కాస్ట్ ఎంత అంటే ఏంటి? అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? అప్పుడు టోటల్ మామూలుగా కాస్ట్ వస్తుంది. అప్పుడు ఏంటి ఐటమ్ వైజ్ కాస్ట్ వచ్చింది. కానీ నాకు గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ రావాలంటే ఏం కావాలి? అప్పుడు నాకు ఏం చేయాలి? డైరెక్ట్ గా గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ గా మనకు ఫంక్షన్ ఉందా? ఇక్కడ లేదు. అప్పుడు మీరు ఏం చేయాలి? రోల్ అప్ అనేది యూజ్ చేసుకోండి. గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ అది రోల్ అప్ అయినా క్యూబ్ కానీ ఏదైనా యూజ్ చేసుకోండి. నాకేంటి 2 కాలమ్స్ యొక్క సబ్ టోటల్స్ గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ కావాలి. అప్పుడు ఏం కావాలి? ఏ ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేసుకోవాలి? ఒకవేళ మీరు 2 కాలమ్స్ అవుట్పుట్ చూడాలనుకున్నారు, సబ్ టోటల్ గ్రాండ్ టోటల్, అప్పుడు ఏ ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ అవుతుంది?
Cube.
క్యూబ్ ఓన్లీ. ఒకవేళ నాకు సింగిల్ కాలమే
Roll up.
ఓన్లీ సింగిల్ కాలం యొక్క సబ్ టోటల్ గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ కావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? మీరు రోల్ అప్ రాసుకోవాలి అంతే. దట్ ఈస్ ద మేజర్ థింగ్. ఓకేనా?
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow we'll start the giants. Don't miss the class for tomorrow onwards.
Sir, class timing changed.
Class timings
Change అయ్యా సార్? సేమ్ ఏనా?
ఇంకేం చెప్పలేదు నాకు. వంశీ చెప్పాడా క్లాస్ టైమింగ్ చేంజ్ అయ్యని?
లేదు.
ఇంకే నాకైతే ఏం చెప్పలేదు. మీకు ఏమైనా చెప్పు.
గ్రూప్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టారు సార్.
ఏమని?
అది
9:15 to 10 అని.
అది సెకండ్ క్లాస్.
సెకండ్ క్లాస్
మీకేంటి అది? మీకే
మార్నింగ్ 2 క్లాసులు ఉన్నాయి.
2 hours తీసుకుంటున్నా.
అదే అనేది నాకు చెప్పలేదు ఇంకా టైమింగ్స్ ఏంటి అనేది. మరి నాకు ఇదే కంటిన్యూ కమ్మన్నారు. నాకైతే ఏం లేదు మెసేజ్. మరి చూడండి కనుక్కోమంటే కనుక్కుంటున్నాను.
ఓకే.
ఎందుకంటే నాకు మెసేజ్ ఉంటే నాకు చెప్పేస్తారు ఆయన ముందే.
కాదు సార్, పొద్దున 2 క్లాసులు ఉన్నాయి.
అదే నేను అదే చూశాను. మార్నింగ్ 8 to 9 ఒక 15 minutes ఏదో బ్రేక్ ఇచ్చినట్టున్నాడు. 9:15 to 10 అని పెట్టినట్టున్నాడు. అంతేనా?
అంతే కరెక్ట్.
అంతే ఉన్నట్టుంది. అది
మోహన్
మన టైం చేంజ్ చేయమని చెప్పలేదు అక్కడ. నాకు మార్నింగ్ అయితేనే కంటెంట్ ఉంటుందండి. నేను మీకోసమనే ఈవినింగ్ తీసుకున్నాను. మీరు అంతా ఈవినింగ్ ప్రిఫర్ చేశారంటేనే అందుకోసం ఈవినింగ్ పెట్టాను. ఓకేనా? మీకు ఏదన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి. ఎక్కడున్నా మీరు డోంట్ సిట్ ఐడిల్. ఐడిల్ గా కూర్చున్నారంటే అర్థం కాదు.
సార్ ఇక్కడ మనం కేసు ఇంకా గ్రూప్ ఐడి ఎందుకు యూస్ చేసినామంటే లాస్ట్ లో లైక్ క్లయింట్ కి అర్థం కావాలి కదా సార్.
ఇప్పుడు మీరే ఒక యూజర్ అండి. మీరు ఒక యూజర్, మీ ఫ్రెండ్ ఒక క్వెరీ రాశాడు. ఇప్పుడు మీ క్వెరీ రాసి మీకు ఇక్కడ చూపించాడు, సిస్టమ్ తీసుకొచ్చి ఇలా చూపించాడు అవుట్పుట్. మీకు అర్థం అవుతుంది ఇమీడియట్ గా చూస్తాను ఇది ఈ వాల్యూస్ మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా? జస్ట్ మీకు ఏంటవుతుంది, ఇది ఏంది అమౌంట్ అనేది చెప్తాడు అతను. కానీ మీరు ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్ ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది ఇలా ఇస్తే అవుట్పుట్.
మన క్వైరీ చూడకుండా అర్థం కాదు అది అసలు ఏముందని.
ఇప్పుడు అవుట్పుట్ చూసినా మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా ఈ వాల్యూస్ అనేది ఏంటి చెప్పినా కానీ అర్థం కాదు. ఇది టోటల్ అంటాడు, గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ అంటే మీకు ఇక్కడ మెసేజ్ లేకుండా మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా?
ఉండదు.
అందుకోసం ఏం చేసాము మనం, ఒక మెసేజ్ ప్రింట్ చేయాలి. ఒక మీనింగ్ఫుల్ మెసేజ్ ప్రింట్ చేయాలంటే ఏంటి, నాకు ఇక్కడ ఈ గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి ఎందుకు రాస్తున్నారు? గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి రాయడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే సమ్ వాల్యూస్ ప్రింట్ అవుతున్నాయి. 0, 1, 2, 3 అని ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. ఇంకా అంతకంటే రావు మనకి వాల్యూస్ గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడిలో. ఎప్పుడు 0 ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది? మీరు ఏదైనా ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ కంపారిజన్ చేసాము? ఇక్కడ 2 కాలమ్స్ చేసాము. 2 కాలమ్స్ లో 2 కాలంలో వాల్యూ ఉంటే గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి ఏం ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది? 0. ఒకవేళ ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్ లో మీరు 4 కాలమ్స్ కంపారిజన్ చేశారు. 4 కాలమ్స్ లో 2 కాలమ్స్ లో 4 కాలమ్స్ లో డేటా ఉంది. అప్పుడు గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి ఏం ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది?
సారీ
0.
Four columns ఉంది మీకు. If you are going to compare the if you are going to apply the 4 columns on the roll up and queue function only, what the grouping ID it can print? 4 columns
0.
having a value.
0
4 columns లో వాల్యూ ఉంటే ఏమవుతుంది? 0 ప్రింట్. 3 columns లో వాల్యూ ఉండి ఒక కాలం లో వాల్యూ లేదనుకోండి, ఏమవుతుంది అప్పుడు? 1 ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. కరెక్టా? డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ దట్ జస్ట్ మనకి ఏంటి లాజికల్ ఆపరేటర్స్ రాసుకున్నాం కదా, అండు ఆరు అట్లా జస్ట్ అట్లా కంపారిజన్ చేసుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు నాకేంది వాల్యూస్ ప్రింట్ అయిపోయినాయి. వాల్యూస్ ప్రింట్ అయిపోయినాక మనకేంటి గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి రాసినాక ఏమైంది మనకి? జస్ట్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద క్వరీ, వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ దే, ఇక్కడ చూడండి. ఇప్పుడు నాకేంటి దీని మీనింగ్ ప్రింట్ అయింది. నాకు ఈ వాల్యూ ప్రింట్ అవ్వడం అవసరమా? ఈ వాల్యూస్ ఇది నాకు అవసరమా అవుట్పుట్ లో?
అవును, అవసరం లేదు సార్.
అవసరం లేదు కదా మనకి, ఇది సబ్ టోటల్ కాదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు నాకేంటి ఇది అవసరమా కాదా? ఇప్పుడు ఈ వాల్యూ
అది అవసరం సార్.
ఇది అప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేశాను దీనికి, ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఇక్కడ 1 ఎక్కడైతే ఉందో నాకు ఏం రావాలి? డిపార్ట్మెంట్ సబ్ టోటల్ అని రావాలి.
సబ్ టోటల్ కేస్ ఫంక్షన్ యూస్ చేసి అక్కడ సబ్ టోటల్
కేసు రాసేసి నేను ఏం చేశాను, దానికి ఆ కండిషన్ రాసుకున్నాను. ఇక్కడ గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడిలో ఈ 2 కాలమ్ ని కంపారిజన్ చేసినప్పుడు 1 అని వస్తే వెన్ 1 అంటే ఏంటి దీని మీనింగ్? గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడిలో ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి? డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్ జాబ్. దీని వాల్యూ 1 అయితే ఏమని ప్రింట్ చేశాను? సబ్ టోటల్. 2 అయితే ఏంటి? జాబ్ సబ్ టోటల్. 3 అయితే ఏం ప్రింట్ చేశాను? గ్రాండ్ టోటల్. అంతే కదా రాసింది. అదే కదా ఫైనల్ గా రాసింది.
అదే ఎండ్ యూజర్ కి అర్థమవడానికి మనం అంత
యూజర్ అంటే ఎవరు? మీ ఫ్రెండ్ ఎవరన్నా కానీ వాళ్ళకి మీనింగ్ఫుల్ గా అర్థం కావాలంటే ఇలాగా అంతే. ఈ క్వరీ నేను ఇంతవరకు మనకి ఎనఫ్. ఈ క్వరీ ఇంతవరకు ఎనఫ్. మనం ఏది ఇంత ముందు రాసాం కదా, ఈ క్వరీ వరకు ఎనఫ్. ఒకవేళ ఇంకా మీ మెసేజెస్ మీనింగ్ఫుల్ గా రావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి అనే ఫంక్షన్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేసినాడు ఒరాకిల్ వాడు, అంతే. ఓకేనా?
Mohan, if suppose grouping have more than 2 columns, then it will consider, suppose it have 4 columns, then it will consider 1, 2, 3, 4 and grand total as 5, right?
Like that. Just if you are going to compare the columns depending on the requirement, the system it can decide what the value it can print. మీకు సిస్టమ్ డిసైడ్ చేస్తుంది మీకు అక్కడ ఆ కాలంలో ఏమేమి వాల్యూస్ వస్తున్నాయా రాలేదా. వచ్చిందంటే గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి జనరేట్ అవుతుంది, లేదంటే మారుతూ ఉంటుంది, అంతే.
కాదండి, ఇప్పుడు గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడిలో 2 కాలమ్స్ ఇచ్చారు కదా, కాబట్టి వెన్ ఈజ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ సబ్ టోటల్, 2 ఈజ్ జాబ్ సబ్ టోటల్. ఇఫ్ సపోజ్ 4 కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఈ గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడిని అది ఫస్ట్ కాలమ్ కి 1, సెకండ్ కాలమ్ కి 2, థర్డ్ కాలమ్ కి 3 అలా తీసుకుంటుందా?
ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇక్కడ మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ రాసుకున్నారు, ఇంకో కాలం పెట్టి ఇక్కడ పెట్టారు. ఆ గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి జనరేట్ చేస్తుందా? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 సంథింగ్ అట్లా వచ్చింది అనుకో, మీకు ఏ కాలంలో సబ్ టోటల్ ఉంది దాన్ని బట్టి రాయండి, అంతే. మన గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్టర్ జనరేటింగ్ ద గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి దెన్ యూ కెన్ ప్రింట్ ద సబ్ టోటల్స్, కరెక్ట్ ఆర్ నాట్? నాకు గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి ప్రింట్ అవ్వకముందే నేను సబ్ టోటల్ రాయలేం కదా మనం.
ఓకే, చెక్ చేసుకొని
అంతే కదా. మరి మనకి గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి వస్తుంది, ఏది ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ అయితే రాయండి. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏంటి గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి ఇక్కడ రాయడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది? ఒకవేళ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ మనకి అది క్వెరీ వర్క్ అవ్వదు, ఇక్కడ రాసినా కానీ ఆ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ని బట్టి రాయాలి. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఈ టేబుల్లో మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ లేవు. ఒకవేళ ఇక్కడ చూడండి, నేను ఇక్కడ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్, జాబ్, శాలరీ రాశాను. ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ అయినాయి? ఇక్కడ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ శాలరీ కూడా పెట్టాను. ఇక్కడ జస్ట్ చూడండి, ఇదేంటి ఓన్లీ గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి. నో వాట్ ఇట్ కెన్ డిస్ప్లేడ్ హియర్. చూడండి ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది? గ్రూపింగ్ ఐడి జనరేట్ అయిందా లేదా? కానీ ఇక్కడ ఏంటి, మన రిక్వైర్మెంట్ మారిపోయింది ఇక్కడ. ఓకేనా? ఇక్కడ చూడండి వాల్యూస్ వచ్చే దాన్ని బట్టి మీరు చేంజ్ చేసుకోవాలి. అక్కడ మీరు ఆ క్వెరీని బట్టి, ఆ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ని బట్టి రాయాలి, అంతే, ఇంకేం లేదు. ఓకేనా? జస్ట్ ఐ కెన్ రిమూవ్ హియర్. కరెంట్లీ యాజ్ పర్ అవర్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ 2 కాలమ్స్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దిస్. మనకి ఈ టేబుల్లో 2 కాలమ్స్ బట్టి రాసాం. ఇప్పుడు నాకు డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్ వైజ్, జాబ్ వైజ్, మళ్ళీ శాలరీస్ అంటే ఇది కాదు, ఇది ఇక్కడ మనకి రాంగ్ డేటా వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ. అందుకోసం చూడండి, ఇక్కడ హ్యూజ్ డేటా ఇట్ ఈస్ కమింగ్, దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్. ఫైనల్గా ఏమొచ్చింది ఇక్కడ? టోటల్ గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ ఏమో, ఇప్పుడు చూడండి గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ ఏమొచ్చింది ఈ క్వెరీకి ఇప్పుడు రాస్తే, ఇక్కడ ఇది ఏమైంది? 7 వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు నేను కేసులో ఏం రాయాలి? ఇక్కడ చేంజ్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఇక్కడ ఇది గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ అని రావాలి 7 వచ్చినప్పుడు. ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఈ నెంబరు కంపారిజన్ చేసుకునే దాన్ని బట్టి మారిపోతుంది. ఇక్కడ ఇవి 6 వచ్చినది, ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఇది రాంగ్, ఇది రిక్వైర్మెంట్ రాంగ్, ఇక్కడ వాల్యూస్ అనేది రాంగ్ వచ్చింది ఇక్కడ మీకు. దాన్ని బట్టి మీరు కరెక్ట్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ పోతుంది. I can remove this column, salary. Now this is the way we need to write. ఇంకొక వే కూడా ఉంటుంది, నేను అది తర్వాత చెప్తానండి. ఇంకోటి కూడా ఉంది ఎట్లా అనేది, జస్ట్ ఎలా ప్రింట్ చేయాలనేది. అనదర్ వే ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఇస్ దేర్. అది కాంప్లెక్స్ గా ఉంటుంది అందులో టూల్స్.
చిన్నగా కనిపిస్తుంది.
టూల్స్ లోనే ఏదో ఉంటది, నేను చూసి చెప్తానండి. అది ఇక్కడ సెట్టింగ్ టూల్స్ లోనే ఏదో ఉంటది ఇక్కడ.
ఇక్కడ ఫీచర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి కానీ అవ్వట్లేదు. ఫీచర్స్ ప్రిఫరెన్సెస్
ఇక్కడ ఏదో
ఇక్కడ ప్రిఫరెన్సెస్ ఇక్కడ
ఉమ్,
ఇక్కడ కాదు, ఇక్కడ కాదు.
దాంట్లో టూల్స్ లోనే ఇక్కడ ఇక్కడ దీనిలోనే వస్తుంది ఏదో, నాకు కరెక్ట్ గుర్తులేదు, నేను చూసి చెప్తాను మీకు.
Yes.